Hey everybody, it's Michael Fisher with Pocket Now. I'm in Salem, Massachusetts at the facilities of GT Crystal Systems, a company that's trying to make your smartphone display a little bit harder to scratch using sapphire. Let's find out how they do it. If you watched our coverage from MWC in Barcelona, you might remember a demo by Jeff Nestel-Pat of GT Advanced Technologies showcasing a smartphone display 2.5 times stronger than Gorilla Glass that was, for all intents and purposes, unscratchable. It turns out the primary GT Advanced Crystal Systems facility is just a hop away from Pocket Now's Boston offices, so Jeff invited us for a visit to see how sapphire smartphone displays are made. An important thing to note right up front is that GT Crystal Systems isn't as focused on directly producing sapphire displays as it is on selling the technology that allows other companies to do it. The core of that technology is these furnaces. There are about 60 at the Salem facility, most of which were busily making sapphire at the time of my visit. Inside these cylinders, at thousands of degrees, is where the material that ultimately forms an unscratchable smartphone display is forged. So here's how that's done. A sapphire seed, about the size and shape of a hockey puck, is placed at the bottom of a single-use molybdenum barrel called a crucible. The crucible is then filled with a mixture of condensed corundum, which is a crystalline form of aluminum oxide, and a material called crackle, which is uncrystallized sapphire material left over from previous runs. The full crucible is then placed inside the furnace, where it sits atop a finger, a small platform cooled by liquid helium that prevents the sapphire seed from melting too early. The whole shebang is sealed, the air is evacuated, and the temperature is brought up to 2200 degrees Celsius to allow the materials to melt together. The temperature varies as the material is put through a series of cooling cycles over the next 16 or 17 days. During that time, the sapphire slowly crystallizes from bottom to top, and the end result is this, a cylindrical section of industrial sapphire called a boule. The typical recipe produces a 115-kilogram boule, chemically identical to the sapphire dug from the ground. Boules are marked and separated into more and less desirable regions. Cores can be drilled and cuts made for various applications, like LED production or the manufacturing of airplane windows. Making a smartphone display out of this sapphire material is fairly simple. A rectangular section of specific dimensions is cut, smaller for iPhones and Virtus, and larger for Galaxy Notes and the like. It's polished, not just to increase clarity, but to strengthen it further. Then it's cut into the appropriate thickness and polished some more. A few hole punches for button and speaker penetrations, and voila! A thin, light screen protector harder than Gorilla Glass, harder even than any material except for diamonds, a practically unscratchable display coating. Jeff told me that accessory applications like that are already in the works from other companies. But GT Advanced is also hoping to coordinate with OEMs to include sapphire screens on smartphones right out of the box. Cost continues to be a big factor, but the gap is narrowing. Where several months ago sapphire displays cost about $30 per smartphone, the company told me that current figures are more like $15, with next-generation technology like reusable crucibles coming in the next 12 to 18 months to bring that figure down further to less than $10 a screen. It's not the $3 per screen that Gorilla Glass is said to cost, but it's definitely much closer. Again, you'll see other companies pushing sapphire smartphone screens much more aggressively under their own brands at first, but get ready for a general sapphire awareness campaign coming soon. GT Advanced is committed not just to creating more sapphire material, but creating more capacity for other companies to produce it by selling its furnaces to them. That should drive the costs down while pushing availability up, which means that sooner rather than later, we might all be able to carry our smartphones in the same pocket as our keys, coin change, and even a handful of beach sand, without worrying about scratching our screen to death. And that's a future we can all get excited about. That's going to do it for now. Be sure and check out our hands-on with the sapphire material at MWC. It's part of our Barcelona collection there on YouTube. Subscribe to us on YouTube. Follow us on all the usual social media channels. Stay tuned for a lot more from Pocket Now. Thanks for watching. See you next time.